Welcome back to another episode on Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson, and I'm an anxiety coach who helps people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally. On today's episode, what I'm going to be talking about is how whenever we are dealing with difficult situations, and with us, of course, it's about anxiety, we tend to push off certain things that needs to be done, and we try to find the quick and easy solution in order for us to feel much better, because it can be for a number of reasons. And I know for me, my personal experience is that I was just tired of experiencing the suffering that I was going through. I didn't want to live like this anymore, and I was just sick and tired of being this way, and I just wanted quick solutions. And I see that a lot even in my life today, that whenever I'm going through certain hardships and there's certain hard times that I'm going through, I just want a quick solution so that I can feel better. And I've come to realize that it's not the best way in dealing with things. And this is why I wanted to talk about this, because this is something that I've realized on myself recently. And I know that people with anxiety, and even people without anxiety, I know in general, we also operate this way. But at the end of the day, it's not giving us the results that we want, because we want certain results. Like in your case right now, you want to be anxiety free. And whenever we are trying to do that quick solution, it's not giving us the results that we want, and we get disappointed then. We get demotivated, and we don't understand why we aren't getting the results that we want. And this can be very frustrating, and I know this. And it's crazy how I realized this thing about me, and it's the funniest thing that I realized is that whenever, I have 2 kids now, and there's a lot of laundry that needs to be done. And I was like, there's clothing in my daughter's room, and I'm like, I don't want to sort it out, like where I need to put it back. I'm like, I'm just going to put it in the laundry and just be done with it. But what happens is that afterwards, and I'm laughing about this because it's funny, that afterwards, I'm like, hey, after the laundry's done, then I'll fold it and I'll just put it back. But right now, this second, I don't want to deal with it. So I push it off. I'm like, I'll just push it off. And right now, this is just a quick solution to the problem, and I don't want to think about it. But then afterwards, when the laundry's done, I'm sitting there, me and my wife, we're folding. I'm thinking in my mind, I should have not put that in. There's so much more laundry, and now the problem is even worse. But this is where, I know it's funny, but this is where I realized that on the smallest thing, I was just and while I'm putting the laundry in, I'm like, Emmanuel, why am I doing this? I'm like, why are you doing this? I'm like, you know what? You do this a lot, by the way. Whenever you're dealing with certain hardships, you're and it can be the smallest thing and also the biggest thing, you're trying to look for the quick solution. And there were times where I call myself and saying to myself, I'm like, you know what? With the anxiety for me, my quick solution was just take medication, because I thought that was the quick solution, and I was this close in taking it. I was really close in taking medication, and I just wanted to feel much better. But if it wasn't for my brother in convincing me otherwise and telling me don't take the medication, because he himself takes medication till today, but back then he was taking medication. He's like, Emmanuel, listen, I went through anxiety. I went through depression. Well, he didn't know it was anxiety. It's I went through depression. He knew that it was depression. Later on, I figured out it was anxiety, but he was saying, I went through depression, and I was going through depression myself. And he's like, listen, it's not going to help you with your situation. He's like, look at me. It didn't help me. It made it worse. And I was thinking about it. He's like, listen, try it out. See how it goes. Take a little time and see how it goes. But please do me a favor. He's like, you can do it naturally, and the natural way you can get out of it. But with the medication, it's much harder to get off medication. And until today, he's having a hard time taking off medication, because some of them are very addicting. And he takes it for anxiety, and it's very hard for him to get off it. And thankfully, I did take the hard road. I didn't take the medication, and I said, you know what? Because I wanted this thing to be gone. I didn't want to feel it. I just wanted to feel numb. And I told him, listen, David, I'm sick and tired of living like this. I'm sick and tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of it. And thankfully, I didn't take it, and I tried the hard road. And I know that for some people,
And I'm not telling you guys not to take medication if you do, and if that's something that's going to help you, great. All I'm saying is that continuously work on yourself. The medication isn't the solution. It helps you to numb, it helps you to calm down, and it may help you for a certain amount of time, but for long term, it's not beneficial. And we want to get to that place where we develop ourselves. So I'm not trying to tell you like, oh, you're taking medication, it's the worst thing for you. Why are you taking it? I'm not trying to bash you or anything like that. If that's something that you needed and that's something that's helping you, great. But what I'm saying is that try to work on yourself, on your mental state, on your mindset, so that you can get off of it and you don't have to rely on it. But with me personally, that was for me the easy way out. For me, that was the easy way out, the easy solution, and I will feel much better. So sometimes, whenever we're trying to find that quick fix, whenever we're trying to find that good feeling, then what happens is that and this is the shade. It's a formula that in the end of the day, we aren't going to get the results that we're looking for, and it's not going to be stable. Like for me, I worked on myself from the inside out, and this is why I have that stability of over 9 years already of being anxiety free. But the question is, guys, is that how are we going to stop to look for that quick solution? And you have to understand that the easy come, easy go. But if we're able to develop the mindset, then it's going to last much longer. But again, what's the question over here is that how are we going to stop looking for the quick solution and how we're going to stop doing that? That's the main question over here, because it's hard. And I know where you're coming from, and I know the struggle that you're going through, and I know how you feel, and I know how hard it is every single day to live with this thing. It's not a simple thing, and I understand that nature that you have automatically looking for a quick solution, and it's justifiable because it makes sense because of the suffering, because we don't want that suffering anymore, not even for one more second. We don't want it. But the question is that how are we going to stop looking for the quick solution and actually look for the solution that may be a little harder, maybe a little hard to do, but it's going to make us more, it's going to be much more stable, and it's going to be much more effective in calming down our anxiety. And if you have depression, also with that, so that way we can have a much longer lasting relief. So one of the things that we need to understand, that we need to be okay with not being okay. That is something that is not an easy thing to do, of course, but is very powerful, because we have been told and we have been programmed that we need to feel great 24/7, that we need to feel happy 24/7. Yeah, we can feel good, meaning that stability of like, I feel great now, like I'm not feeling like down, like when you have depression, you're feeling anxiety, yeah. But it's impossible to attain happiness 24/7. It's a very hard concept, and that we are going to have certain hardships. We're going to have certain hardships, and we're going to go through certain things that we need to be okay with, so that, number one, it doesn't put a lot of pressure on us, and number two, it's much easier for us whenever we are okay with the situation that it is. It's much easier for us to come out of it, because whenever we're not okay with it, we're fighting it, and that we think that that's really helping us, but really, in fact, that is making it worse. But whenever we kind of accept the fact, okay, you know what, this is where I'm feeling, not our situation. That's the thing I always try to differentiate between one another, because people say, like, oh, I just need to accept my situation. No. You don't have to accept your situation. Accept the way you feel. Accept the hardship that you're in right now, and then start working towards getting out of that hardship. That way, you'll able to take your entire focus, all your energy onto the solution instead of fighting the problem. That's the way you fight the problem, not by fighting the problem, by finding the solution and searching for that and doing the solution and applying that and going after it. That's the way you get out of the problem, not by trying to fight the problem, by trying to find the solution. So we need to be okay. We need to be okay with feeling like crap, like feeling down. Being okay in our hardship, like, hey, you know what? I'm going through this right now, through this anxiety right now, and it's okay that I'm going through it. I'm going to get out of it. I'm not looking to be happy. I'm not looking to feel good. And I know that's kind of hard to say, guys, and I know that's kind of hard to do. But the thing is that you are basically just getting your focus off the problem and more onto the solution. Because, hey, okay, we're okay with this. We are okay with this. It doesn't mean you're going to be that way. It doesn't mean you're going to stay that way. Again, it's a trick. It's like you're kind of manipulating and you kind of like, it's like reverse psychology with your anxiety, with your fight and fight mode, and saying, okay, we don't need to fight this. We don't need to fight this right now. We don't need to fight this feeling, and we don't have to fight, or hurt a certain thing that we don't want to feel or experience or whatever we're going to go through. We are okay with this. In that way, by the way, guys, it will take off so much stress, so much pressure, and so much worry. And that way, we're able to think much clearer in getting into achieving our goal. So whenever we are not wanting and trying to find that quick solution, we are anxiously looking, okay, let's get out of this situation. Let's get out. I want to get out of this thing. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I'm sick and tired of dealing this way. And it makes sense, guys. I'm not saying it doesn't. But we need to trick our mind and tell it, like, you know what? We are in this situation. Quick solution is not going to help us. We've tried the quick solution. I know that everybody has, including me. I have tried quick solutions, and it hasn't helped us. We may need to go through the hard road, but the hard road will literally build a foundation. Just like whenever you're building a house, a building, whatever it is, the longest and hardest part is building the foundation. It takes the most time. Building the foundation, because if you have a good solid foundation, you can build whatever you want on top. But it does take time. It's not a 1, 2, 3 thing. And whenever you build a solid foundation, you can build whatever you want on top. Same thing over here. If you're able to build a solid foundation, because our foundation right now is shaky, our foundation right now broke because it was shaky, because it was built the wrong way. And again, it's not your fault or anything like that, but it's our responsibility to fix that. It's our responsibility to do that so that we can have a better life. So right now, we need to fix the foundation, and we need to tell them, hey, listen, we can't quickly fix the foundation. We can't quickly fix this problem. It's going to be hard, and it's going to take some time, but eventually we'll get to that point, and we need to start looking for the actual solution. That's another thing that we talk about. Okay, what is the solution? And I know I talk about this a lot on my podcast. And the solution over here is to work on yourself, the mindset, your emotional mindset, your spirituality, your physicality, the things that you eat, exercising, the things that you think about. You got to change from a negative mindset to more of a positive mindset to understand your emotions, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, meaning your negative thoughts to more positive whenever you're in a situation, to perceive it more in a positive way. It does take time to perceive ourselves in a more positive way. That does take time, but it's worth it at the end of the day. It's worth it because, again, like I said before, is that if it's hard, and it's going to be hard, it's not an easy thing to start thinking more positively, to start working in your subconscious mind, to work on your mindset, to work on your emotions, to work on your spirituality, to work on your physicality. It does take time. And it's not going to be a 1, 2, 3 thing. And don't expect, okay, I want everything done right now and try to grab everything, as much as information as possible, and try to force yourself to apply these things. That's not going to happen. Again, it took me 3 years, guys. Well, the reason why it took me 3 years is because I didn't have the old information. I didn't know how to overcome my anxiety. I knew the tips and the tools, but I didn't have the root causes, and that I found out, and that took me time. That's the reason why. But I can tell you that if you work on those things continuously, within 6 months to a year, you'll start feeling much better. And again, I don't want to give you a timetable. I don't want to give you a timetable because each person is different. So I can't give you that. But I just think that's how long it will take you to see a significant change, a consistent change. But it all depends on the person if he's willing to apply those things. But at the end of the day, guys, it's possible to overcome your anxiety. It's possible to do it. But we have to understand, let's not look for the quick solution. Let's look for the actual real solution, which may be hard. It may be hard to do, but it's going to be worth it at the end of the day.
If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because this way we're able to reach more people. And the more people that we can actually reach, the more people that we can actually help. Because my mission in this world, my purpose is to help people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally and show them that it's possible to overcome. Thank you guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.